Last night, I received an email from a reader in Sacramento. She recently lost her job and is currently struggling to pay her bills. Like many people, she's looking for hope, meaning, and a sense of purpose. But understandably, it's difficult to find any of that when it feels like the entire world is against you. Her email got me thinking. She wants to be happy. She wants to be more optimistic, and feel like the future is worth living for. So while I was typing out my reply, the following quote from Marcus Aurelius came to mind: "Very little is needed to make a happy life, it is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Over the past few years, I've learned that you cannot control external events, only your reaction to them. But here's the thing, you can always control your mindset in any given situation. And that's why you need to remember the following truths if you want to live a happy life. 1. Someday, you are going to die. I know what you're thinking right now, that doesn't make me happy. In fact, it does quite the opposite. Why did you write that? I have an answer. When you realize that you have a limited time on Earth, you'll stop caring about a lot of things that don't really matter. Accepting that you're going to die puts everything into perspective. It makes you question if it's worth complaining about someone cutting you off in traffic, or receiving the wrong type of milk at a coffee shop. For all I know, I could get hit by a bus, catch a deadly virus, or die in a horrific car crash while driving to get a vanilla latte at Starbucks. I know it's an unsettling thought. But it's true. Nobody knows what the future holds. So instead of spending your time worrying about everything that doesn't matter, try to focus your energy on the things that do. Marcus Aurelius said it best: you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Spend more time doing activities you enjoy. Hug your family, see your friends, or go on a road trip to somewhere beautiful. Someday, you are going to die. Until then, how you choose to live your life is up to you. 2. Unfortunately, some people won't like you. The Greek philosopher, Epictetus once said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." I love that quote so much. Why? Because it speaks a truth that very few people are willing to accept. We can't control what other people do, think, or say. Yet for some reason, we spend so much time complaining and wishing for things to be different. But if worrying about other people's actions won't change the outcome, what's the point? There is none. Instead, you need to accept that some things are outside of your control. Sure, other people can be annoying. They might do something you dislike or say things that are morally questionable. But once you spend less time worrying about everything you can't control, you can begin to focus on what you can. I used to spend a lot of my time watching the news and wondering why society was in such a terrible mess. But then I realized that I can't control a lot of international, or even domestic, affairs. However, one thing I can always do is treat everyone I meet with the respect they deserve. Smile at strangers in the street, be kind to everyone in your life, and help other people if you're able to do so. Because once you accept that you cannot control everything, it's much easier to focus solely on what you can. 3. You can't change what's already happened. How often do you wish you could go back and correct your previous mistakes? If you're anything like my past self, your response will be something like all the time. You're never going to be happy if you spend every moment thinking about the past. You cannot change what's already happened. So what can you do? Learn from your mistakes, and do everything within your power to create a better future. I'll give you a personal example. I used to spend so much time working that a lot of my relationships began to deteriorate. People whom I knew for years left my life because I was an asshole and refused to spend time with them as I had more important things to do. It sucks just thinking about it. However, I now recognize that I cannot change my previous actions. So over the past 12 months, I've started to prioritize spending time with friends and family. As a result, my relationships and social life have exponentially improved. You can't change the past. So stop spending your time wishing you could. Instead, do your best to learn from it and create a better future. Take a moment to think about what you would do differently, and then adjust your actions in the present moment accordingly. 4. You need adversity to thrive. There's a beautiful quote by Ryan Holiday, which changed my life forever. It goes like this: there is no good or bad without us, there is only perception. There is the event itself, and the story we tell ourselves about what it means. Sure, there will be moments when you feel like everything is lost and want to give up. But it's often those moments which make us stronger, emotionally resilient, and courageous enough to deal with any problems we may face. Similarly, Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Adversity is an opportunity for growth. It's a chance to get out of your comfort zone, make progress, and become the type of person that you want to be. For example, I've experienced my fair share of financial difficulty over the past few years. At one point, I only had $36 left in my checking account. But as a result of experiencing adversity, I learned how to budget, increase my income, and ensure the same problem never happens again. The truth is that adversity will either make or break you. So why not learn from it to become a much better person than you are today? Because when you push your own boundaries, you'll quickly discover what you're truly capable of achieving in every aspect of life. Without knowing you, I can tell that you have dreams, aspirations, and a vision of the person you want to be. But unless you can accept the above truths that I mentioned, you'll never be able to live a genuinely happy life. Why? Because you'll always be worried about everything you can't control, instead of what you can. So embrace adversity. Remember that you can't change the past. And keep in mind that sooner or later, you are going to die. Apply these lessons to your life, and you'll quickly notice that you'll feel much happier and more optimistic than ever before. Because my friend, you only have one life. Live it.